1, 2, 3, still waiting. Have I pressed something wrong? You are recording this meeting. Make sure that everyone knows, so be warned. Good afternoon, everyone. Very good morning, very good evening for some of you. Thank you very much for joining us. Very topical meeting today, safety again. This time we will be talking about lifeboat safety. And Captain AJ Tripathi, who has devoted and dedicated his life actually to the statistics, and thanks to his company MMS, who are supporting him fully in this extraordinary job he is doing. But before we get to AJ, let's perform our 60-minute meeting. An update from me. I don't see Mark, and I believe Mark is in Saudi Arabia today and attending maritime
Kuba, we can't hear you.
We lost you. Yeah.
Lost your sound.
How about now? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, now better.
Yeah, better.
Okay, so McKnight was in IMO on your behalf. Full report was submitted to you last week. We had our meeting with Hague, Human Element Industry Group, last week, where I was updating industry on enclosed spaces and statistics which were shown to you 2 weeks ago. No further information about Ukraine or Russia, nothing from you, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, our members. I had no response to those 2 Irish cadets, ETO cadets. Does it mean that I have to go out of our membership and search somewhere, or can I appeal to you so you can find 2 berths for 2 cadets so they can actually continue with their study? I'm pleading, please, 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 please help us. Next week, very busy for us as well. There is a lot happening at the moment. We continue on enclosed spaces. There will be press release which I have submitted to executive committee, and this press release will actually go out tomorrow because we've got International Maritime Day. I will be providing my vlog as well tomorrow, and I don't recall any requests or anything from our members. So you've got a chance now. If there is any issue which you would like InterManager to work on your behalf, please, 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 we are waiting for you. Otherwise, we will be busy with what we have to do, EU ETS being at the top of the priority list at the moment. I'll pause for a second. We've got quite a number of people attending today. If you've got any question, any request, any comment, please raise your hand. And seeing nothing, I would like to introduce Captain AJ Tripathi, who has been member of InterManager for good 15, 16 years, well before my time. AJ was actually a gentleman who employed me. He was in a committee which was revising Secretary Generals 12 years ago. And AJ has been our treasurer for our association for good 6, 7 years now. AJ, over to you. You've got a presentation, so you need to share your screen with us.
Thank you, Kuba. Thank you for your introduction. Let me set it up first. And, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
And now, can you see now?
That's right, we can see indeed.
Thank you, Kuba. I didn't expect that you will put me first in the line of fire. I thought that my turn was later on, but it's okay. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, Free would, of course, will be laughing. Firstly, my apologies for being most irregular vice president of the organization, but we'll try to improve, Kuba. You can blame time zone though for this. So I'm going to share with you all a study which I started in year 2000. As far as I remember, it might be a bit earlier when I was still sailing. And I have attempted to collate and analyze accidents involving all types of lifeboats on merchant ships. excluding fishing vessels, of course, since 1980. Cuba been kind enough to use this data and analysis at many platforms for last few years now. Having said this, I'm not an expert and not advocating any specific measures, but believe that sharing this information would improve the awareness among all stakeholders for improvement and possible solutions. I'll take you to a disturbing comparison now. As per IMB, 95 lives were lost in piracy incidents. Piracy, as we all know, a much talked topic all around the world. And this is that data. Since 2005 until 2021, December 2021, 95 lives were lost in piracy-related incidents, whereas 120 lives were lost in lifeboat-related incidents, and over 190 were seriously injured in the same period of 16 years. And actually, my data will show you over 500 lives lost since 1980 in over 400 incidents. So I'll take you through the background of this work. So I've gone collected almost 427 incidents in 1980. And all available sources were used to collect this the lifeboat related incidents, where any incident where lifeboat was involved and there was incident with the lifeboat. About 100 available investigation reports of lifeboat incidents by various flag states were studied. And in last 2-3 years, the Health and Safety Executive at HSE, as it is called, Britain's national regulator for workplace health and safety, was coordinated with for information exchange, and it's continuing with them. So basically, I have tried to capture all kinds of incident, minor to major, during drill, testing, maintenance, rescue, and evacuation. Each one of them had potential of serious injury or death, and many of them did resulted in that. I'll just take you through that. During this period, I have studied various surveys conducted by many organizations. Very first was OCMF, which was done in 1994. And after careful studies, it had there's a mention of 2 fatalities and 31 injuries during this period, which I found is less actually. But I carefully studied that, but I could not take these incident into my account because I could not relate them with any year. So, and most of the 89 incidents do not have details about the type of lifeboat, type of ships involved, and so I have taken those incidents as unknown. I mean, that those fatalities and injuries I have not taken. So the one you 501 and other you saw. Other survey was by Intertanko, OCMF, SIPCO combined in 2000, and there were 89 responses. But somehow I could not relate those incidents mentioned with any year. So I have not taken those incidents into my account. I believe some of them or many of them might already be in my database, but I have not taken them. I mean, it's no point increasing the number when you are not sure. So I have there was one more survey by MAIB in 2001, and it has about 125 incidents with 12 fatalities and 87 injuries. So since I have been verifying MAIB database for many years, and incident mentioned in the survey were not used as it is, because I believe that they are already in MAIB database with the name and everything. So and they must be existing in my research. In addition to that, an independent survey I carried out in year 2014 and 15 through SurveyMonkey, which could reach to many shipping companies worldwide, and significant unknown incidents I came to know. It came to limelight, which were then verified through several means before I could include most of them in my research. Well, any study, any research always has some constraints. So all efforts were made, to check, cross-check the incident from various sources, double, triple sources. But in some case, 143 incidents, the vessel name is not known. But in some cases, the name was not disclosed, you know. So I met many, at least 7 or 8 people who had incident and they experienced themselves, but they didn't want to disclose the name of the lifeboat. That's fine, but the sources are reliable. So all other possible sources were used to gather data, which is a continuous process basically. It's continuing actually, and possibility of duplication of some incidents exist as names are not known. So my request is that an error in this report should not take away the intent behind this cause. So that is my sincere request. And I'll take you through some of the analysis now. So these are the information sources actually. Maximum is government and organization. But actually quite large number I received from SurveyMonkey when I verified them. So I found the actual sources, mostly in government and organization, shipping bodies. So that's why 270 is it's showing. And media is 103, word of mouth 33, and YouTube 3. So these are the information sources. These are the, this slide shows the casualties. As you can see, 427 incidents from 1980 to 2022 had 501 fatalities, 367 serious injuries, and 129 minor injuries. So, I mean, most of us sitting here, we all know a recent incident on cruise, on a cruise called Norwegian Breakaway on July 2016. In July 2016. A click of mouse on Google would show 1 died and 3 injured. Even today, if you check, but very few of us would know, or rather very few elsewhere would know that one more person died after 2.5 months of treatment. So like this, there may be many more cases where serious injuries took place. We don't know. I mean, this is what I know through various other sources, which were double verified later on. This slide shows the type of lifeboats. I mean, as you can see, all type of lifeboats had been involved in accidents. So if we say this is more safe or that is less safe, you cannot say that way. Of course, 103 incidents type of lifeboats are not known. As I mentioned initially, for example, in OCMF the survey, the type of lifeboat was not mentioned. So enclosed lifeboat, as you can see, had been more, but basically because majority of ships since long had been having this enclosed lifeboat. But what is interesting to see here is the open fast rescue boat and free fall lifeboat. Free fall lifeboats have not been there for long, and number of incidents are already increasing. This slide would show that 464 fatalities took place from 58 incidents involving enclosed lifeboat, whereas 13 fatalities took place from 9 lifeboat free fall lifeboat incident, 10 from 10 open rescue boats, and 1 from a partially enclosed lifeboat, and 13 from 6 number open lifeboat incidents. So even if we remove 3 very infamous incidents of 1980 Alexander Keeland, 123 were died, 1982 Ocean Ranger, 84 plus died, and 1983 Glomar Java Sea, the rig, 81 died. Still, 81 accidents resulted in 176 fatalities in 18 years. It's quite significant to note. This slide shows the activities during the when incident took place. As you can see, majority happened during 202 incident happened during drill. But I mean, maker inspection, PSC inspection, survey by class, these are were also the activity when incident took place and very serious injuries took place. It's not only drill. And of course, there are 95 incidents where I could not verify what kind of activities were going on during that time. And they had been There had been incident where no operation was going on. Lifeboat just slipped or fell overboard, and during rescue operation and evacuation also. And this slide shows the type of ships. All types of ships are involved, as you can see. And of course, tankers are 17 numbers highest. 104 incident types of vessel is unknown. So we cannot say whether tanker, bulker, but cruise is followed by tanker. If you see 69, tanker together, gas and oil together is 70. So this shows the all kind of ships are involved. Incidents with fatalities versus causes. What kind of were the causes which were responsible for fatalities? The majority is the release mechanism, 38, false parted, 12, ergonomic, 21, brake winch failure, 2, chain parted, 2, and not known, 7. Ergonomic is an interesting, causes I would take you through. But this is what could be gathered from all possible sources, investigation reports, etc. Hook release were, of course, and related mechanism are the highest. Ergonomic causes are quite strange and quite disturbing. Again, hit by handle, crushed between boat and hull, limit switch did not work, hand stuck between block and wire, explosion from an accumulation of combustible gases from battery charger, gas, fumes inside the boat, falling overboard while handling, falling on deck during maintenance, davit collapsed, extinguisher inside fire free fall live boat broke, release wire entangled. So, I mean, above are some of the causes taken under these ergonomic categories. And interesting is that most of them happen during drill or maintenance or testing. This analysis also include these 5 very infamous incidents on rigs. I will not go into detail. 6 of them, and quite number of which resulted in 382 fatalities. Debatable questions. I mean, anyone seeing this analysis or going through the reports will always have some questions for sure. So I also have some questions that it's an open question actually. Do we have data to show how many lives have been saved by enclosed lifeboats, which was otherwise not possible with, say, let's say open or any other type lifeboats? I mean, this question can be asked by those who have experienced all kinds of lifeboats, How many lives have been saved by quick release, on-load release hooks? I mean, these are the questions we ask, Then this analysis shows that some lives lost with open type lifeboats too. So which type of lifeboat is better? This is the main question which come, So the next 4 or 5 slides will show the excerpt from the investigation report findings by various flag states. Like this, there are many. I will not go into the detail of each, but some salient findings are to be taken note of. Some of them you may be aware, and there are more serious, but I just picked up at randomly 4 or 5. The CMA CGM CHARDIN in June 2004, 1 person was dead and 5 injured. So I will just read the red one. This is the finding by the flag state, their investigator. The system remains armed and does not secure the release mechanism against accidental on-road release. This is the system was such, and it may result into releasing the lifeboat from the hooks. So this is the conclusive finding. Another one, CHRITOPHE COLOMB, 2 dead, 1 injured in 2011 by the investigation by France. The conclusive finding says originated during the construction of the vessel, the mechanical error or whatever error was. And there was no anomaly recorded just 7 months before the accident when the extensive survey was carried out. and the French authorities, the French flag state, the investigator, they appealed to IMO to ban definitely the presence of crew member aboard debit launch lifeboats. This is what was one of the factors which led to, the amendment to 19.3.3.3 of SOLAS Chapter 3. So one more is from Nordic Raja by Denmark in 2011. Lack of safety device on release handles. This was free fall lifeboat. The second engineer lost his balance and unintentionally he hit the some handle, and the boat was released unintentionally. Anna Musk 2012 by Japan, all by major countries. Swivel of the suspension was shear fractured. I mean the swivel fractured. I mean, of course, we call it material failure, but this is what is happening. And the single point failure is something we have to talk about. Then there comes Thomson MAJESTY. Most of us will know, 5 dead, 3 injured. They're talking about FPD and all that, but they would have had no effect. There was a FPD, but they would have had no effect either way on the lifeboat falling after the wire rope parted. The FPD would do nothing if the wire rope is parting. So the idea of showing these few incidents from year 2004 to 2013 is that how vulnerable the existing mechanism is. Not that industry or IMO has not been making efforts. Of course, the continuous effort was on, as you can see here, since 1980 till now. Various MSC circulars and resolution have been passed. It's going on. It's not that industry is quiet, but maybe we need to go beyond that, as I feel. And most of the stakeholders are also making efforts in that. But there are many questions which remain unanswered. That how much successful were these efforts through various MSC circulars and SOLAS amendments so far. And last major amendment to SOLAS 19.3.3, which I was just talking about, in force since 1st July 2006, admitted the fact that lifeboat is not safe for launching with crew in a way. When it is removed, that assigned crew was removed. The boat will be launched with assigned crew. It used to be, but that was removed. So can it be safe at the time of abandonment with the full complement? It's a big question, And the most importantly, just a month back, a young master mariner who was sailing just a year back, and he joined my organization, and he's attending this meeting now, Captain Rajesh. So he asked me, sir, how can self-release mechanism, which is to be used during abandonment, be properly familiarized and tested with above measures and regulation in place? Because nobody is lowering it with during the drill they are going inside now. So this was the recent question was put to me. So 110 lives lost and 185 seriously injured in 213 accidents since 2006 alone, when this amendment was brought in SOLAS. So has this measure been successful? So why to have this single point failure mechanism with lifeboat? Why? These are some of the questions, which keeps coming. There are few slides which just shows the photographs. We can talk a bit, but a lot, but we will not talk. I'll just take you through that. Some photographs. How many lives have been saved by new hook designs? This, as you can see, hook is released. How many lives saved from enclosed lifeboat, which could have been lost, in open type lifeboat? This is an enclosed lifeboat. How many lives have been saved by air cylinders inside the lifeboats? And this resulted in serious injury or probably fatality, as per my record. Then could life been saved had it been an open lifeboat? So, we are now we should be deliberating as to what industry or collective we should be doing. So one of the question asked, can we go back to basics, such as Lifeline has been with an open live board, some kind of, additional measure, preventive measures. Having said that, I'll take you through an eyewitness account of a master who went to the rescue of 3 seriously injured crew on other ships. It is also shared by guard, and Kuba was kind enough. Kuba went personally to that master after he came to know about this incident from me. He approached the master and he narrated the full story about it. And the guard has also narrated the same. It is available on net, so it is no more secret. I have not put the name of that ship, for the sake. So as you can see here, I will not the ship was called for rescue. There was a fire on a ship, and there were 3 chief engineer, 2 oiler were seriously injured. The master was requested to go to that ship to take out. The ship could not use the engine, so the injured were supposed to be evacuated urgently. Weather was calm, no problem. So chief officer and 5 more crew, they went and brought 3 chief engineer, 2 oiler with them. And the lifeboat was not a self-righting one, and So they started lifting the lifeboat. The chief officer had got down in between to organize other operations. So just a minute later, the boat reached the stowage position and was almost hoisted to the debit limit switches when both the forward and aft hooks released. The lifeboat then dropped, hit the rail of the ship and turned over sideways and fell into the water upside down. The lifeboat was not a self-righting one and started to drift off. It took almost 2 hours to recover the boat and get it alongside the ship. In the middle of night, in open sea, the assisting crew then had to cut holes in the upturned boat to reach to the victim inside. From the member vessel, the 3rd mate, the 3rd engineer, the bosun, and oiler, all rescuers died in this accident, while another oiler was injured. Of the person taken off the fire-stricken vessels, the chief engineer died and 2 crew members were seriously injured. The lifeboat became a total wreck. It was only in 1996. Very few people would know about this, but this is the fact. Another one, 2007, much later, there was a sinking of a cruise ship Explorer. 155 lives were saved. Not even a single person died. The picture speaks of itself. I don't need to speak much. I don't know how this ship survived with this kind of lifeboat till 2007, but this is a fact. And I'm about to end. Before that, I will just show you 3 videos. I've already played them and kept it for a few seconds, and so it will not take long. Allow me to show you. Can you see my screen, Kuba? Kuba, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. This is one of the 3. Kuba, when I showed this video to Kuba long back, maybe 10 years, I think, I don't remember. Kuba managed to hear some of the voices He found out what language they were speaking, and he managed to find the name of the ship. He could reach out to those people, and he found. This is another one, very short one. It's a happy ending though, as you can see in the half door opening and somebody coming out. Yeah, as you can see, it's a happy ending. And there's one more. I very recently found it, and surprisingly, nobody knows in the media. So again, I have just and close like board. So this incident happened in last year, June, July. Third officer died. His body was found after 1 or 2 days, and 3 more were seriously injured. It is nowhere in media. It is nowhere in flag state information. Nowhere. It just happened that I was surfing through. I got through this video, and I saw some on the life raft and all that, and I could trace it to the exact date of that incident, the name of that. So coming back to my last point, I hope I'm not late, not delayed.
You're doing well. You're very well.
Yeah. So way forward, I mean, as I said initially, I don't have solution. My main aim is to share this analysis and information with all stakeholders. So the ongoing efforts must continue. More brainstorming, research for technology is the need of time. Fail-proof, avoiding single point failure system need to be done. Data collection, voluntary reporting, that is very important. The IMO GISS SIS in existence, out of 427, only 63 incidents are there in that IMO records. So how complacent or how poor we are in reporting injury and death-related incident. I mean, we copy aviation industry. Aviation industry, you have each and every record of a human being. So this is where we need to look into. And then PNI club need to contribute with information sharing, because they are involved in all kind of injury and accidents. So through this information, I think more will come out, and the need for improvement and innovation will come out. So this is all I would like to share. Thank you for your time. Thanks, Kubab.
AJ, I can only thank you very much for being consistent, persistent, and happy to share, because that is the most important thing now. I am appalled again that IMO is not able to work actually to the principles IMO was convinced to actually work together and being able to share, and more importantly, to actually stop all these accidents. As InterManager, and thank you to AJ, I have been given mandate 5-6 years ago to actually share this information. And for your information, we do have Industrial Lifeboat Group, which next meeting is happening on the 11th of November. I will be attending, and InterManager uses AJ's statistics, and I keep industry stakeholders updated on everything. We also, as InterManager, go back to every flag state we can and ask for the. As you can tell from AJ's story, it is a mixed success. Unfortunately, even today, I've got a message from one of the flag states saying that they've never heard of an accident, which we know. What does it say? Where are we with all of this? And especially then nowadays, we seem to be really getting very concerned about the well-being of seafarers. and we are trying to rank up our efforts in very good areas. But one of the basic areas, which is the safety of our crew members while performing drills. Please remember, those drills are happening every week, every Friday, usually on Saturday, and compulsory, the lifeboats have to be launched to the water every 3 months. So there is, very interestingly, I have to admit, serious accident happened on Shell platform, probably 3 years ago. And when it happened, Shell decided no more drills. That's it. We are not endangering our people until we know the results of the investigation. Because of this accident, there is a lot of pressure now in the offshore industry to stop drills. Only perform drills in a safe environment. Very much the same we do with life rafts, very much the same we do with swimming pools and whatever. And this has not trickled to shipping industry yet, but we are working on this, and I encourage members to take the active role in this particular safety issue. And again, AJ, thank you, and thank you, MMS, your company, for allowing you to work over this and helping and being a leader. We need more champions like AJ who are able to devote time, resources, and being able to share with us. Thank you. Now, Charlotte has a hand up. Charlotte, please go ahead. And
No,
then Raoul, see your hand.
Sorry, it was only by accident. I wanted to do the clapping sign to AJ to say I thought it was excellent and put the hand up instead, and I don't know how to remove it. So it's just IT errors. Apologies. But well done. Thank you, AJ.
Thank you.
But Charlotte, actually, I think if we could maybe use your position and get with this presentation to P&I clubs, to IG club, you know, we want P&I clubs to become adventurous enough to actually start sharing information with the industry. AJ, please, and then Raul.
Yeah, my request to P&I Club is we don't want to know the name of the ship. We don't want to name of the people injured or died. You just share the information, how many, which type of ship, which type of lifeboats, what type of accident, during what activities. That's more than enough.
Well, AJ, I'm very happy to put you into contact with the loss prevention team at the UK P&I Club, if you're not in contact with them already. So I'm happy to.
Thank you, Charlotte. That will be great. And Paul Heaney of HSE had been very helpful. He shared some information from his database, which he didn't have. He was shocked. He was shocked when me and Kuba attended meeting with him that so much of data is there, but we don't know anything about this. So, I mean, anything from you, it will be very helpful. Thank you. Yeah.
Raul, please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, great, AJ. Really appreciate the presentation, and it wasn't a lot of it wasn't a shock to me because this is actually an area that we've worked on quite a lot in terms of looking at where incidents are and where we needed to strengthen. And it's an area of the library, the training library that we have, where we've got a lot of these titles on the things that you were mentioning today, on road release and particularly on the drills point as well, and that has been a particular flashpoint. So what I'm kind of interested in, I guess, is whether I could take a look into the data and see how much of these titles are actually being used, and whether they're, you know, because if they're not being scheduled, I mean, this is typically the problem that we have, is that essentially we've got this big library that might be available, but unless people are actually putting it into their training matrix and actually saying to the crew, you know, this is important to us, we want to see you doing this training regularly, it may be an area that they're not using as widely as they could be or should be. So perhaps you and I could have a discussion on that, and I'd be very happy to give you access to the material for you to have a look at it and see, you know, see if there's any gaps, anything we're not covering.
Thanks, Raul. Can I add, Kuba, one point here? I have been asked this question many times. You know, they say, "Oh, then that way tomorrow you will say you know, you don't take a draft, don't go through the gangway, go through the pilot ladder, you know, don't do bridge front painting and all that, go inside the tank." My answer is that these activities are part and parcel of ship's operation. We must do it. I mean, to survive also we have to go there. But the life being lost here, I mean, majority of this we are doing an activity to comply a regulation, a drill, for example. Of course, we can say that it can happen anytime, but many of us sitting here, we have spent our lifetime in sailing. We didn't have that kind of emergency. I'm not saying that we could not have, but that cannot be the only logic, This is the only activity where people are dying just to comply a regulation. Just for that sake. Yes.
AJ, I no, very good, and strengthen your argument. We can look at the automotive industry. None of us using has ever been drilling using the airbags, for example. We take it for granted. Then manufacturers have mastered the technology, and if the proverbial hits the fan, the airbags would open.
Yeah.
Likely to use the same technology nowadays and logic for our seafarers, and that is puzzling. So discussion on 11th of November at International Lifeboat Group will be focusing on this as well. There is a lot of diehards because we've always been doing that way, then we will continue doing it that way. But I believe thanks to AJ and his championship of this particular issue and speaking to all of you today, we've got a chance actually to change the tables. So thank you for that. Ral, we received your links. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I think Sanjay is trying to write something. Here we go. Thanks for the sharing information statistic question. Appreciate the wide scope. Broadly speaking, any information on root causes leading to the incidents? AJ, I think you provided one of your slides actually shows where the things were happening. But also I would add from my end, whenever we compile any statistics, we have to use the reports, accident reports. Our data is only as good as accident report. So if the accident report blames people and root cause is lack of training, for example, then it will feature in our statistics the same way. Although I believe now InterManager is trying, at least with enclosed spaces, to go deeper than that and ask questions. Why? And if you saw film number 2, how can you blame seafarers for flipping lifeboat? You can't do that. It is design, and many others. And you saw also other films and other examples where lifeboats were just basically releasing themselves. But AJ, what would you like to answer to Sanjay?
The question is, appreciate the wide scope. Broadly speaking, any information on the root causes leading to the incidents? Well, Sanjay, I really appreciate your question, and this is the very first thing which will come into the mind. Now, it is all related to the type of lifeboat and at many times the circumstances also. But as you saw in one of the slides, the release mechanism. Now you can say that why the release mechanism was set, why it was not maintained, when if it is so complex, if it is so difficult to maintain, and there's so much of scope of error that by little bit doing this way, it will get unlocked, or doing this way, if it is not close to the red. I mean, I have all the detailed investigations I can share with you. Just because the lever was little bit down that green one and the hook opened. So who was at fault? The person who did that. Now, why do we have this kind of arrangement? Why do we have this kind of arrangement with such little fault? You saw that free fall lifeboat where the second engineer, he was just little bit roll, his hand hit something and the boat went into the water. Why we need to have somebody's approving such arrangements? So more research is required, more innovation is required from the different mindset. That's what I hope I could answer to you.
Yeah, thanks. It's sad that we still continue to lose, but we continue to also learn, and let's see how we can use technology basically. And that's, sorry, I asked a follow-up question.
AJ, Sanjay, we lost you. Last sentence was lost.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I can
said
read the question.
there's a follow-up question, but if there is somebody else, can go ahead first.
Yeah, Tanner, yes, you missed the slide. If you just follow the video, there is a slide showing actually, not only that, AJ had a very good slide showing interposing IMO regulations and any publications showing basically that they are not having almost any effect. Having said that, I think, if I remember rightly, 2016, the regulation when we are not required to have people in the lifeboats during the drill is having an effect. We are losing less people. But we are still waiting, for example, for my report on Sir Attenborough, British ship, British seafarers, brand new when the lifeboat went to the water. And 16 months, we haven't got a report yet from MCA, from MIBE, from UK. And that is absolutely mind-boggling, because we might be killing other people as well, because we don't know what happened. And we are still very happy to actually continue using same lifeboats, same manufacturer, same design, and so on, not knowing what went wrong. I think this is appalling. Our industry should not wait 16 months from the very reputable flag to have a report. Yes, you hear me right. And I'm sorry to say that, but somebody has to call the spade a spade. Anybody else? Charlotte, you've got a hands up. I think that could be technology as well.
May I add here, Kuba, just 2 points. I mean, many of them have been sailing and now in office. Don't you think we as a seafaring community or as a ship manager community, ship owner, we are so hesitant to share such injury related information? I don't know why there's a self-guilt. Oh, this happened in my company, this happened on my ship. I will not. I mean, I met a master who had a lifeboat incident. He said, this is the incident, but don't use my name or name of the ship. I mean, looking at the data, you cannot blame an individual for, all this. So we need to be more open, why to hide this? And yesterday or day before yesterday in another discussion, Tony, I think, shared that the simple gadgets like phone or anything, you have immediately, YouTube video, how to use this one app or how to use this one. And we are handling such a hazardous equipment. Where are those videos for that? Why not videos for them? Training videos. So these are the things.
I think RAL is very keen to produce videos, any actually material to help. But again, I think there is quite a lot of material for the seafarers and what to do and how to do, but very little for the naval architects or actually regulators. As a joke, anecdote, if you wish, when Peter Hinchliffe was still ICS, we both went to the training center in Manila, and I insisted on both of us lowering the lifeboat ourselves. Peter bailed out, said, no, I'm too old to do that. But we were watching people to do that for us. And then it was on the river, trying to hook back the lifeboat, which the hooks are 150 kilograms each. And there has to be a human being connecting it into the lifeboat. And the lifeboat is moving, and you put your fingers into it. So why can't we design out all dangers and everything? But I believe enough for today. Thank you very, very much, AJ. As you can see, you sparked the discussion. Problem probably is then we are all preaching to converted. The issue is then we are not talking to those people who are not on this meeting. That's why my appeal to Charlotte. And obviously, if you are thinking about Stuart, then we have been talking. Maybe we could do an update. Maybe they could join us and see what the seafarers, what the managers are thinking about that, to feel the pressure as well. And I'm very happy that we've got a right ship with us today, for example, checking on us and seeing what the industry is talking about and maybe being able to help us as well. And you've got vast network. So if you could be even 10% as passionate as AJ is, then we could make a big difference, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I've got no further issues for today. Obviously, I'm pausing for a second. If there is any yellow hands or red hands, thank you. Yes, I can see people. AJ, you are a star today. Well, not only today, I should say. Thank you.
No, Kuba, it's not that. I don't envisage, and my main aim is to, bring awareness, and at the same time, this should not convey any like a scary, environment about activity on ship or lifeboat. It's only I would like to bring more, let people be more cautious about it, and through this means I think we need more alertness and more awareness about this, the hazards involved in such activity, basically. So,
AJ, on behalf of everyone, thank you so much.
yeah, thank you.
I'm stopping recording now, and I thank you everyone, and watch out next Wednesday. I'll announce next 60-minute meeting, which I hope to be in 2 weeks' time. All the best, and if you've got anything you would like to share, don't shy away. Look, we can do it together.
I look forward to hear something from Rahul or Charlotte. So, yeah.
I'll drop you an email, AJ, and
Thank you.
pick it up
Thank you,
from
Rahul.
there. Cheers. Bye.